Schedule a Zoom with me at gcexperts.com/Zoom. Well, how can I help you guys?
Well, you know what? I looked at getting into government contracting probably about 50. I didn't really look at it. About 15 years ago, I owned a landscaping company. I was just a little small one in Jacksonville, Florida. And a friend of mine, I played basketball, was a lieutenant in the Navy Nurse Corps. And he told me about a bid coming up to do the grounds for the hospital on base. And that was really the first time I really got a good glimpse at it. Other than
Yeah.
that, I worked in procurement in the military as well as logistics. And so when I was stationed in Australia, I used to have to do open purchases and things like that. So I'm not blind to how fast or how slow the government works. Um, I just
Yeah.
know that when it does work, when it finally starts flowing, you're good. Sometimes getting there may take some steps, may take some redoing, but you know what? Anything worth getting or having is worth working for. So
I say that all the time.
most definitely.
Yep.
If it was that easy, we wouldn't have a shortage of contractors, right? So,
That's right. Well, how can I help you guys?
well, I'm very much interested in being able to tap into your expertise to be able to navigate, government contracting.
Well, I always say there's 35 years of stuff in this head, over 1,000 federal contracts, over $1 billion worth of work, made over $300 million over my career. So if you want to know something that's in this head, all you have to do is ask.
That's it. That's it. I heard. I got an email. It said that you 90% of the stuff I need to know or maybe thinking about is going to be addressed, and then afterwards, we can shoot from there.
Did you guys watch that video?
I did. I watched. She works at night. She does home help, so she works 8 to 8. But I did. I listened to the telephone conversation with the gentleman. That was about 30 minutes. And then I listened to the, I guess, overview type.
Well, let's
video.
talk about that for a second. I'm
Yes.
talking the Michael video where the guy that asked me all the questions,
Yes.
where we talk about the 200 square foot tiny house.
Yes.
What were the 4 options?
Okay. Well, the first option was you can accept it, right? Somebody sent me a text and I only came up with 3 of them. You can accept it.
By the way, I sent you an email when you said that because you said you forgot the 4th one.
Yeah. I was out running around trying to get this truck. I got me a new pickup truck, so I've been adding little toys on it. You accept it.
Withdraw.
Okay, that's the one I didn't have. You
negotiate.
You can initiate.
No, negotiate.
Negotiate. I had negotiate and
stall.
Stall. Yeah, that's where you call and say, hey,
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting your call. Can I call you back in 24 to 48 hours?
That's absolutely it.
Okay. So now that you've understand that, what is your risk for turning in a bid?
0, Keisha.
0.
Okay. Well, you guys just said the magic words, so I'll answer that other 10% you're talking about. I'll answer anything you want to know.
Yeah, I heard you talk about and explain to the guy about the FARs, a 13.004 alpha, and it's basically saying that the government can't turn around and just because you gave them a quote and make it a contract.
And award you a losing deal. That's right.
Yeah. So it has to be mano y mano, and but they understand it. You have some people that's not too bright that pushes the paper, and sometimes it may come. But if you do get it, they still telling you don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's still not a contract. I
So
love it. My
that
message
tells
is getting
me,
through.
yeah, that tells me push, push, push.
Yes, it does. That's exactly what it should tell you.
Yeah,
That's not a question.
that is not a question. Okay, so Keisha, he bombards me with several questions, um, but I
Is
do
Keisha
have.
the skeptic in the family?
You know what? Here's my thing with this beautiful lady here. She is my number one ride or die.
That's not the question that I asked. Is
She
Keisha the skeptic in the family?
she is not really the skeptic
Okay.
because she's always ready. The
Okay.
excitement that you hear, that's not for show. That's okay. Let's go. Let's do it. It is. She's not as um like we used to say back in multi-level marketing. You know, get me started. I can run and not know exactly where I'm running to. You just
Sure.
give me some. You just give me some stuff, and I'll learn on the way.
Okay. Chris, I'm done talking to you. I want to talk to Keisha.
All right, Keisha. That is the Keisha.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right. I need to know what your questions are in order to get your marching orders that you apparently love.
Um, will this company that we're building or wanting to build? I know there's no guarantee in anything, but it's a strong possibility that it will work.
Okay, so now you're talking about evidence. So let's talk about that for a moment.
Mhm.
You guys said at one point you had a landscaping company. Yes or no?
That was Chris.
Okay,
We've only been married 2 months.
Yes.
that's okay. I
We've been
asked you.
dating 2 years.
Okay, when I say yes or no question, I'm looking for a yes or a no.
Gotcha.
Okay, so at one point he had a landscaping company.
Yes.
Let's say that he went out and he got some great deal, $500 a month. That would have been a great deal a long time ago. Okay, so he gets his contract and he goes back to his house or apartment or wherever and he puts it into his filing cabinet. I have a question. Can anybody in the whole world go into his home, open up his filing cabinet, and go, holy crap, Chris, you got a $500 a month contract?
No.
No, because that's private information, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, my contracts across my entire career, were they private like that? Or were they public with the federal government?
And that's why I can't ask the questions that I want to ask because I need to look at your video. See, I haven't looked at your video yet.
Hey, Keisha, it's
Yes.
okay. We're here now.
Okay.
Okay? You and I are having a conversation.
Okay.
And I'm asking you a question. The
Mhm.
contracts that I got from the United States federal government, are they private like what his landscaping contract would have been?
No.
No, they're public information.
Yes.
We, the people, get to see how our federal government spends money. Okay? So now that you agree that all my contracts were public information, do you think that I would ever lie about any contract I ever got?
No.
Why?
Because we can see. It's
Somebody could go look that
That's
up
right. That's
and
yeah.
call me a liar.
Right.
Okay? I got a follow-up question. The people that I teach this to, the contracts that they get with the federal government, is that private information or is it public information?
Public.
That's right. Do you think I'd ever lie about any contract they've ever gotten?
No.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about a website I created.
Okay.
My website is gcexperts.com. I have what I call an indisputable proof page on my website. What I mean by indisputable is nobody can ever call me a liar for what's on that page because it can be looked up publicly. Okay.
Okay.
So on that page, it's at gcexperts.com/proof. I've got something like 8 videos, maybe 9. But those videos, if you hit play, it's real people like you looking into the camera, just like you're looking into a camera right now, and they're going, holy shit, these guys are the experts. Now, I'm not asking you to play those, but I'm just telling you, but I'm just telling you that if somebody's going to put a testimonial video on their website, don't you think it's basically going to say, holy crap, these guys are the experts?
Yes.
Yes. So that's proof, if I'm in the video and somebody else is in the video, that we were in the same room together and they were learning something, right?
Yes.
Okay. But how do you know they went through my training and anything ever happened? Well, that's where the red button comes in underneath their video. That red button underneath their video takes you to their public profile at usaspending.gov. Can we agree that usaspending.gov isn't my website?
Yes.
Okay. Now, it used to be, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about technobabble, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It used to be when you clicked the red button, it would take you not only to their public profile, but it would display every federal contract they ever got instantly. That was pretty cool. usaspending.gov changed the way that links come into their website. Now, when you see it, it only displays what they've gotten this fiscal year. So the first red button that you click on that page, when you click the button, it's going to say $420,000. Well, that's not that impressive when you think that the guy's been in my program for 10 years. Okay. 420,000 wouldn't be a lot of money over 10 years. If you go to the top right of the page, there's a drop-down menu. And one of the drop-down menus is all fiscal years. When you click that button, that number goes from 400,000 to 7 or 8 million. Okay. That's just one video. If you went through the process that I just described for those 8 people and actually went to all fiscal years and counted all that up, it's over $400 million just for those 8 guys. Now, if you went through that process and you added all that up, first question is, would you think I'm lying?
No.
No, because it's public information.
Right.
And so what I'm here to tell you is that page, gcexperts.com/proof, is clear and convincing evidence that A, I taught them, and B, they started getting federal contracts. Now, nobody on God's green earth can guarantee anybody a federal contract, at least none that I've ever met. So, can I guarantee anybody success in this world? No, but I can tell you this. Based on this conversation, how good am I at teaching?
Very good, because I'm listening.
Based on this conversation, does it sound like I hold people accountable even when I don't know them?
No.
No.
Yeah.
One of the first questions I asked
You
Chris
do.
was, tell me
You
the
do.
4 options.
That's right. You do. You hold them accountable. You do.
That's right. People I don't even know, I hold accountable. Because if
Right.
I'm going to look, it's one thing to have a conversation with me and go, well, he seemed pretty genuine. he but it might not be a scam. Okay. But it's another thing to get somebody in your face saying, you get to qualify me, or at least Chris did, prior to this conversation. He seems like an interesting guy. We'll schedule a Zoom with him. It's a whole nother thing when I get you into this Zoom and I find out you didn't do the homework. You didn't watch the video. I'm not going to talk to people that just come in there and go, hey, what do you do? Fuck you. What do I do? Okay. You should know what I do when you end up in this Zoom.
That's right.
Okay. I hold people, if I'm going to hold somebody I don't know accountable, how hard do you think I'm going to push you if you are a client?
Right.
Okay. That's the big difference.
Okay.
Now, I'm not going to make decisions. None of these, some people think they're coming into a Zoom to talk to somebody who's going to say, here's the 7 key steps. And if you buy my shit today, I'll give you a 10% discount. If you guys are looking for that, you're in the wrong place.
Right.
Okay? I'm just telling you.
I like you. And that's what I'm talking about. Give it to me straight up to where I can understand where you're coming from. And I'm with it. I'm listening. I'm interested.
Okay. So anyway, with all that said, there's not a sales pitch at the end of this thing. There's just me answering questions. What's next?
That's really it for me. Unless Chris have something.
Okay, so Sean, the training is a training platform.
Mm-hmm.
How long is the training?
It's about 28 hours, somewhere in that range. I mean, I've never clicked on it and tried to figure it out, but something like that. In real life, when it was happening and we were capturing the footage, it was 3 days: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Right.
So, you can binge watch it like somebody binge watches Netflix. You could watch it.
That's what I do.
Okay. Or you could take a week and really go through it and rewind it, pause, take your kids to school or whatever, take your wife out to dinner, whatever. But you go through it at your own pace.
Okay.
And just like in real life, when somebody in the room raises their hands and asks a question, you'll have my personal cell phone number and you can just hit pause, pick up the phone and call me and let's talk. It's very important to me that people understand, because once you have knowledge in your head, it cannot be removed.
Right. That's why I want to look at the video.
Sure. It's just me doing this with somebody else.
Right. And then I'll probably have all the questions for you in the world.
Then schedule another Zoom and let's talk about it.
I want to see it. Now I'm interested. At first, this was Chris's project. Now it's our project.
Look at that, Chris. She's doing exactly what you said she would. Once she understands where we need to go, she's going to just start running.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, I don't have to have all information, because I believe it's always constant learning. And,
that's right. Life is that way.
That's right. And
all
even after your
learning is good.
After your first contract, you might want to recap on some other things, because there's one thing to hear about it, and
a whole nother thing to actually do it. That's right.
And now, when that person calls back, like Sean says, hey, you got your first one. You're gonna be so hyped that you got the first call back.
You're going to hear ringing in your ears. You're not even going to remember what somebody was telling you. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Right. So it's just everything's a process.
I've
And
got a
so,
woman named Ebony in my program, and Ebony was traveling from Florida to California, moving. This just happened last week. When she was in San Antonio, she turned in a bid for $600,000. We teach something in the workshop called the magic time zone. The magic time zone is the time between when you turn your bid in and the time that a job gets awarded. We call that the magic time zone. So now she's carrying on her drive from San Antonio to California. She pulls over on the side of the road in New Mexico somewhere, gets that phone call from a contracting officer. She makes a few phone calls, negotiates the job to $750,000, okay? And she gets the job. This just happened within a week ago, Thursday or something, okay? Yeah, this happens all the time.
Life-changing experience. Okay.
Yeah.
With
The
that.
largest contract up to them was about 100,000. She's been in my program for 5 months.
What? Wow.
and see, she's really new when it comes to any of this, any dealing
Yep.
with the government, going on base,
I work with her
all of that.
daily. I work with her daily whenever she has questions. Okay. And we just kept moving forward.
And that's how I'm gonna be once I watch your video. So don't be talking about Keisha. Now you're getting on my nerves because I
Oh
don't
no.
understand
When
something.
you
Okay, because
become that never
when
happens.
I'm plugged in, I'm plugged in. So
Keisha, I will answer your phone call the same way on the first call of the day and the 50th call of the day. Hey Keisha, how's it going? How can I help
hey,
you?
now
Okay.
you know I have a problem.
That's some funny shit right there. Okay, now listen, you're gonna go back and watch the video, and you need to know. I don't care if you watch it today, next week, or next year, but
Oh,
watch
I'm
that
watching it
video,
tonight when I get to work.
whatever. Then schedule another Zoom with me. Let's talk some more, and then we'll talk
Okay.
about next steps in that next video. Okay, but don't ever consider anything pressure from me. All of this is on your schedule. Federal government been here.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely not.
Federal government's been here for 200 years. It'll be here for 200 more. I've been teaching this
Absolutely.
stuff for 15 years. I'll be teaching it probably another 6 or 7. Okay. So there's no time crunch to anything. All right.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
All right. I enjoyed this immensely, and I look forward to
I
speaking with you
did
guys
too.
again.
All
All right.
right.
Hey,
Thank
thanks a
you.
lot for your time, son.
Thank you.
Look
You bet,
forward
Chris.
to
Bye,
coming.
Keisha.
All right.